Dies Irae is a famous medieval hymn from the 13th century describing the Day of Judgment, with the last trumpet calling the dead to the divine throne. And yes, it's really famous even if you think you don't know it, because even if you have no idea what Dies Irae is, I guarantee you know the first 4 notes. It's a very specific melody, which was first used in funerals and to refer to tragic moments or deaths in some classical music pieces, and over the centuries it made its way into movies, becoming a melody used for tragic or dramatic moments, but more specifically for deaths, as shown by Vox in their excellent video explaining the origin of the melody. Can't do better than Vox, explaining the origin of DS and D in detail. So I suggest you check out this awesome 5-min mini-doc. But you might be wondering, what does this tragic melody have to do with Frozen 2? Well, yeah, this is one of those videos. By the way, there will be complete spoilers revealing the entire Frozen 2 story. The detail of Dies Irae is very curious because this melody is central to the story of Frozen 2. If you don't recall, it's Elsa's exclusive voice that initiates all the movie's events, as he always calls Elsa, and by tracking the voice, she unintentionally wakes the elemental spirits of the magical forest. The spirits cause chaos in Arendelle, and the voice keeps calling throughout the movie, being the reason why... Well, the reason everything happened. I have to say that watching the movie for the first time and hearing the siren sound during the first few minutes is a surreal experience, because at every moment I was expecting someone to drop dead out of nowhere. However, you and I witnessed the entire film, and it is true that no primary character perishes, correct? The response is somewhat intricate, but indeed, without a doubt, yes. First, we'll recap so that we're all on the same page. The movie starts with Elsa's parents, Agnar and Iduna, telling her a story about when Arendelle, in Agnar's youth, made a peace treaty with the neighboring tribe of the North Uldra and built a dam in their territory, the Enchanted Forest. But during a meeting between both factions, a fight breaks out where Agnar's father dies, and the forest spirits get angry and lock everyone in there. Agnar survives and escapes after being rescued by a stranger, returning to Arendelle and being proclaimed the new king. In the now, all is lovely in Arendelle, until he hears a mysterious voice and inadvertently awakens the elemental spirits. Aikaos have to evacuate the kingdom and the trolls come to help, informing them that to calm the spirits they must uncover the truth about the past. But eventually they find the North Uldra and the soldiers of Arendelle fighting inside the Enchanted Forest, since they had been locked up there for over 3 decades. And here 2 important things are found. The spirits tell them that Idun was a North Uldra and the unknown woman who rescued Agnar initially, leading to the end of hostilities between both factions. And a North Uldra member explains it's not about 4 elemental spirits but rather about 5 of them. The 5th spirit must serve as a bridge between people and the magic of nature. Following the voice, which I remind you is singing the melody of death and made me believe that at any moment someone was going to die in a bloody way at the hands of a bear or something like that, Elsa, Anna and Olaf find the remains of their parents' ship. If you recall, Elsa and Anna's parents perished after shipwrecking years ago, and here we learn that they sought a mythical river named Atohallan, which, as per Iduna, held all the answers from the past. They were looking for him to get answers about Elsa's powers, and although initially she feels guilty for the death of her parents, she realizes that she must reach Tohallan alone to discover what that voice is, sending Anna and Olaf very far away with her ice powers. Elsa arrives in Tohallan, which turns out to be a glacier, and inside she discovers that the voice calling her was one of the memories, specifically her mother's call when she saved Agnar all those years ago. Something important is that the song that has the legend of Atohallan mentions that if you go too far, you'll drown in its currents, but since Atohallan is a glacier, Elsa doesn't drown, she freezes. It's a pretty tragic part because Olaf also disappears, and Anna is left abandoned, believing that Elsa had died. To be honest, I believed it too, as his death explained the presence of the Dies Irae. But Anna fixes everything by destroying the dam, which instead of being a gift, turns out it had actually been built to reduce the resources of the North Uldra and had been the reason for the conflict in the first place. This causes Elsa to thaw and return to Arendelle, saving the kingdom from the flood caused by the destruction of the dam, leading to our happy ending. Elsa meets up with Anna, brings Olaf back to life, and explains that she and Anna are the bridge between people and spirits. Anna becomes the new queen of Arendelle, while Elsa becomes the protector of the enchanted forest. And then the movie credits roll. But there's a very curious detail about this ending, and it's how Elsa acts when she returns. It appeared exceedingly convenient to me that Elsa transformed into a forest spirit and was not even present at the coronation ceremony of Anna. Sounds like too big of an event to miss. So I researched, and it turns out I'm not the first one to make this connection. Can't afford to miss it, huh? The Reddit user VLJ914 observed these and numerous other things that I overlooked and created a post elucidating their theory. Elsa not only tells Anna that she is the fifth spirit, but Kristoff also mentions that Elsa looks different and asks if she cut her hair or something. Elsa smiles and responds or something like that. This something being that she is now a spirit. And people become spirits when they die. It's not rocket science to come to this conclusion. Anna doesn't become queen just because it's the right thing for Arendelle, but because Elsa can't be. She's connected to the forest and exists within it as a spirit. That's why now the sisters communicate with paper airplanes, and that's why Elsa never makes it to the coronation. Even in the comments section of the post, a user by the name of Mr. William noticed that Elsa refers to the melody as a siren call or a siren song. The legendary sirens utilize their songs to entice unsuspecting sailors to their demise. And that is precisely what occurs to Elsa throughout the film. Or at least that's what the theory states. More elements support this idea from Olaf's side, as Olaf melts and dies when Elsa freezes. If Elsa were alive, Olaf would have her magic and wouldn't disappear. Additionally, in the post-credits scene, Olaf informs Snowball and the Snow Geese from Frozen Fever about the events of the movie. And when he reaches the part where Elsa freezes, he states that Elsa and Olaf died, but everything is fine. So if you didn't believe me, I think that makes it pretty clear that they did die. Still, the theory has several holes, the main one being that Elsa is not a ghost or anything like that. One of the biggest arguments is that Elsa doesn't go to Anna's coronation because she can't leave the forest, but Elsa leaves the forest to save Arendelle from the flood. At the movie's end, Anna invites Elsa to a trivia night, and Elsa appears interested in attending. It seems like you can actually get out of the woods, which doesn't help much with everything we just saw. And you can even explain Kristoff's comment by saying that she looks different because, well, she completely changed her look. Now she has a new dress, she's wearing her hair down, and she's more confident in her abilities and her place in the world. So what is happening here? I believe we can confidently say that Elsa is definitely dead at that specific point in the movie. It's clear, especially because of the post-credits scene and Olaf's death. The most confusing aspect is his state at the end of the movie. They've been compared to Gandalf from The Lord of the Rings, and I think it could be a similar situation. Something we haven't discussed is a very curious scene when Olaf dies, where we see his snow fall in a pile in a dramatic way. But it's not just snow. For some reason there are purple flowers mixed in with Olaf's remains. Well, these are saffron flowers, and besides being the symbol of Arendelle, they symbolize transformation and rebirth, since they are one of the first to bloom in the spring in the northern hemisphere. And I think this allows us to say with more certainty that it's Elsa at the end of the movie. From a certain perspective, yes, Elsa is dead in the end. She died and was restored by Atohallan, but it's obvious she didn't come back the same way. Now he's a spirit, not because he's a ghost now, but because he came back to serve as a bridge for magic along with Anna. What has a strange implication, because dying in this way may have paradoxically made her immortal. Yeah, it sounds weird and paradoxical, but if Elsa is no longer strictly human, but a magical being reborn in the heart of Atohallan, it would make sense for her to stop aging. The origin of the theories I've seen is explained by the plan to make a movie where Elsa becomes the Ice Queen they initially wanted thousands of years after losing her family. However, perhaps that is taking it too far. In any case, I hope you enjoyed this Frozen video. Like, if it was so, subscribe for more videos like this. Hopefully now you can see this film in a new way. Farewell, my dear friend. Goodbye, my friend. Slightly more.